So how can you beat lust and repair your brain? The answer is, in fact, to not try to beat lust. What I've realized is that with any vice, whenever you try to stop, there's always going to be something that draws you back in. There's always something in your subconscious which tells you, oh, maybe it's okay to do it this day. Maybe it's okay to indulge in a little bit. Your brain is going to make excuses and give you reasons as to why you should do something. So what I've realized is to actually beat lust, we just need to completely run from it. We need to run as far as we can. Any vice that we have, we need to completely run from it. But lust is a very powerful vice, and your subconscious will find different ways to pull you back in. Your mind will give you different reasons as to why you should engage in negative behavior. But if we completely run from it, if we run as far as we can from lust, and we don't even give our mind the chance to think about the behavior, it's going to make it that much easier to stay away from it. Running from lust means not allowing distractions to creep in. There's no point fighting with lust. It has ways to pull you in and tempt you. We have to completely remove the option for lust, and we have to keep ourselves occupied. It's so important that you keep yourself occupied, because if you don't, your mind is going to then give you reasons as to why you should run back to lust. This is just one way you can repair your brain. And it's so important that we do, because for years and years we've been engaging in a negative habit and building a negative association with lust. So the first way to repair your brain, like I said, is to keep yourself occupied. By running from lust, you save yourself a lot of time, and you can find new habits to replace this time. This can be things like exercise, engaging in deep work, reading, meditating, or learning a new skill, or finding a new hobby. But having something that occupies you and you can genuinely immerse yourself in is going to make it that much easier to stay away and run further and further from lust. Another key way we can repair our brain, and something that's very important to keep in mind, is that it has to be done progressively. Like with any action, if we're going to the gym or on a new diet, it has to be done progressively so we can ease ourselves into it and we're less likely to fall back into our old ways. By doing something progressively, we can gradually build our discipline. So in this instance, you want to progressively remove lustful actions and distractions. It can't all be done at once. We need to unlearn behavior gradually. So what actions and distractions am I talking about? In particular, I'm talking about triggers, things that will take you towards your urges and engaging in lustful actions. Essentially, it's the things that are the gateway to you going back to lust. It will be different for everyone, but these are going to be things like spending too much time on dating apps, maybe scrolling Instagram and TikTok for too long, and eventually you're going to see something that triggers your mind to engage in lust and fulfill your urges. So you need to learn to regulate what you see, and filling up your time with new hobbies or learning or exercising is going to help this. So back to the first point, it actually in fact helps you to gradually remove the distractions and actions that you would typically engage in. You can start to fill up your time with the new habits that you're trying to implement into your life, and you can gradually remove the negative old habit. The last thing to do when you're running from lust and trying to repair your brain is to reduce your need for stimulation. A lot of the time, the reason why we engage in lustful actions and try to fulfill our urges is because our brain needs to be stimulated. We scroll through TikTok or Instagram to try and find something that's going to trigger us to engage and give into our urges. But if we can reduce this need for stimulation, then we won't feel the need to find a trigger. We can just go and spend it doing something else. It doesn't need to be highly stimulating. It can be still pleasurable, but not as stimulating to the brain. Something like reading or even listening to music. One way of doing this is gradually using your phone less. Again, like I said before, you can regulate how much you go on certain apps and how much time you spend on social media. Or it could mean gradually deleting the apps that you feel are harmful towards your mind. And it's also important to meditate, because this is going to increase your focus. If you think about it, a lot of the time we feel the need to be stimulated. We have to look at our phone, we have to look at our laptop or be watching TV. We don't really just sit with ourselves and try to think about nothing. That's very uncommon nowadays. But if you can do it, it's going to improve your focus and you won't feel as itchy for some form of cheap entertainment and stimulation. And as you reduce your need for stimulation and can find pleasure in the simpler things, it won't feel like you're running anymore. It won't feel like you have to even try to fight lust. You're just engaging in a different lifestyle. And that's something you don't feel the need to engage in. But the first step most definitely is to run. There's no point fighting it. Lust is powerful, so you should be scared of it. But if you remove the thought, the idea, the possibility, then your mind won't even have the chance to take you back to your old ways. I hope this video helps. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.